remember that classic 80s comedy horror movie with those adorable little creatures that turn evil if you feed them past midnight? Well, say goodbye to Gremlins because it's time for a new hottie to shine. Of course, that's if you can imagine taking Gremlins and beating it with a steel pipe until it's devoid of all of its charm, humor, or plot. If you can't imagine that, that's okay too, because we have somebody who did it for us. Hello, friendly Denleys. Today we take a look at the low-budget movie from 1988, Hobgoblins. It's the magnum opus of one man named Rick Sloan, who took it upon himself to write, direct, film, edit, and produce this movie on a budget of $15,000. Why would anybody hire a production company when I can make a perfectly good video by myself? I mean, why would Rick Sloan use a production company when he can make a perfectly good movie by himself? Unfortunately, this film was far from perfect. It used cheaply made puppets or some sort of weird stuffed animal creatures that served as the horror element. The most disturbing little beastlies. There's also terrible dialogue and acting. You know, I'm really starting to notice a theme between all of these movies that I'm covering. All right, grab your popcorn so you can eat it within the first 10 minutes of this movie. Let's head into the theater and watch this son of a biscuit. The movie starts out with an older guard named McCready who's mentoring a younger guard named Dennis. Dennis just likes to muck around, air drumming, and doing whatever his heart's desire.
Hey, what gives? Didn't you hear the phone ringing?
No, I didn't.
It's time for our rounds.
McCready goes on to tell Dennis that this was an old film studio and it used to be packed with people, but now it's just a ghost town. Dennis points to some open room. That's a key point, that it's just open, but McCready quickly tells him that it's nothing important, it's just old film equipment, and to stay away from it at all costs. Which, of course, is perfect for our plot. Dennis is left to his own devices and, of course, enters that room that he's not supposed to enter. Casually out of nowhere, Dennis finds himself up on a stage with a microphone and becomes what he's always dreamed of: being a rock and roll legend. It turns out that his performance was so bad that he falls off the stage and, well, we'll let McCready decide that for us. At this point, you may think that Dennis is dead, but look very carefully. Right there, he is still taking a breath. Good thing McCready got there in time so he can help him. No, McCready, what are you doing? Check to see if he's still alive. Don't close it yet, McCready. Oh my God. All right, so McCready's a killer.
Another one quit. What was the problem this time?
He's in the office of his boss and has to explain why this new recruit quit.
Every time we hire a new guard, he only lasts for a couple of weeks, then he's gone. How many is it now? 3, 4?
It's 3.
This was the third person that quit? No. This was the third person that never left that vault. McCready's a serial killer.
I'm holding you responsible for this, McCready. We need to have a second guard ready so he can fill in for you if you can't make it here some night.
His boss is unintentionally feeding into his tendencies right now. He explains that he has to hire somebody else or else he's going to fire McCready and hire 2 new people instead. And just like the murdering lunatic that he is, McCready hires a new recruit.
I really need the job.
I think we'll get along just fine.
We are introduced to the new recruit, Kevin, who is a whippersnapper if I've ever seen one. He's very respectful, and you can tell that he wants to learn, which McCready greatly appreciates. So on their patrol, McCready tells him about the vault that he needs to stay away from.
I don't want to have to explain all the details to you. I just want you to promise to stay clear from it.
Okay, McCready, come on. I get he's not trying to raise suspicion to this vault, but he really needs to go into more details because it's just letting people's imagination run wild. Of course they're going to want to enter the vault.
I don't want to have to remind you a second time. Just stay clear from this area.
They head back out to the little guard hut, and McCready shows Kevin his little pea shooter, saying that one of these days he'll teach him how to shoot it because they never know when they might need it.
You never know when you might need it.
Is that a little bit of foreshadowing, perhaps? I think so. Kevin heads on back to his house where he's greeted by his girlfriend, Amy.
Not now. Your friends are here.
As he's trying to go in for a little peck, he's cock-blocked by his 2 friends who decided to show up. Kevin brought home a movie that he wanted to watch with Amy, and then they start busting his balls that it's not rated X.
What? Don't you ever get any tapes from the adult section? My boyfriend would never bring me a tape that didn't have at least a single X rating.
Amy's actually really happy that Kevin didn't get a rated X movie, though.
Well, Kevin isn't like that. He would never want me to see anything that was rated X, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
A van pulls up in their driveway, and it's another boyfriend who's been at army training for the past 2 months. And he's got one thing on his mind. Woo! The sexual tension between everybody in this room is just insane.
Whoa, everybody have sex tonight.
Wish that were our theme song.
Did you say something?
No.
The army boyfriend describes what he was doing in army training, and it just turns on the girlfriend.
Oh, I bet you got really sweaty.
Oh, you know I did. After that, fiery rage.
You may think that those three are the horniest, but oh no. You have yet to see Kyle in his action. Kyle is secretly the horniest horn dog of them all, and he needs to make a little phone call to his girlfriend, because this room is too spicy for him.
Would it be okay if I used your phone?
Yeah, sure. Who are you gonna call?
My girlfriend.
Hey, are we ever gonna get a chance to meet this girl?
I don't think so. She's kind of shy.
I'm going to see a movie today. I want you to show up and make it rated X. Pull me down and roll me on those sticky floors. Lick that artificial butter flavor off my body. Hold, please.
So Kevin obviously feels a little bit threatened about having Nick there. Amy's kind of gushing over about how tough he is. It just berates Kevin being a security guard.
Why don't you pay attention and maybe you'll learn something? Nick is protecting our country and you're just guarding some rundown, deserted dump.
Ugh, get rid of these expectations for men, ladies. We have feelings too.
Yeah, I can teach you all about hand-to-hand combat. With no problem.
Yeah. Oh, go on, I know you can do it.
Look, I said I wasn't interested, okay?
Come on.
With the power of good old-fashioned peer pressure, Nick convinces Kevin to go outside so they can duke it out. They grab a couple garden tools and start going at it.
Here, take this. Hold like this. Pick the first one.
Go, Kevin, show me. Go, Nick, kick his butt.
This literally lasts for over 2 minutes. The hitting, the little sound effect, and Kevin getting knocked down. Nick wins, and they have a little celebration in their van.
Really humiliated me.
I didn't even want to do this. It was your idea.
Well, I don't care whose idea it was. I wanted you to win.
She's so mean to him. She has so much expectation. Kevin didn't even want to go out there. He was just forced into it. Amy just sees him as a weakling while the other two are blinking in the background.
How was I supposed to win, Amy?
You looked really pathetic. I want you to make me proud.
Kevin, if you care about your dignity, you need to leave her. I'm telling you this as a friend. She's not good for you. She's not the one for you. She brings out the worst of you. Please, Kevin, leave her.
What's the matter, Kevin?
Kevin's back pulling security with McCready and complaining about his girlfriend and her high expectations for him being tough.
My girlfriend's upset because I couldn't do all the things that he can.
As he's trying to vent his feelings, they're disrupted by a thief.
Looks like we've got company.
Wait here. I'll call you if I need to.
This thief is absolutely terrible. The entire time it took McCready to drive over there, the thief just stayed in that one camera view. Hurry up, you hecking idiot. Can you not tell me how to be a thief? Go, you're standing in the light. I have to see with the light. I can't see up ahead, it's dark. There's a camera right there, go. There's no camera. Dude, you're gonna get caught. You've been here for like 5 minutes. Screw you, I'm leaving. Oh, somebody's coming.
Oh! Shut up.
Kill McCready. Kill McCready right now. He is a serial killer.
Get away from him. Who are you kidding? You don't know how to use that.
God darn it. Kevin.
I just wish Amy could have been here to see what I just did.
Kevin's able to scare off the thief. He goes off by himself to try and track him down wherever he ran off to. I want to guess where you think that he's off to. If you guessed the vault, then I've got a congratulations and one of these for you. Okay, I hate McCready. He gets to the vault just as Kevin is opening it and decides to not yell anything at all. He just runs up to distract Kevin, but not soon enough, and some things escape. They're giving some growls, but we have no clue what they are yet.
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, you met the Hobgoblins. What'd you think of them? Can you see how they maybe got some inspiration from Gremlins? They're the most budget, cheap knockoff gremlin ever.
The vault. I tried to warn you. Those creatures, the vault. I tried.
McCready didn't try for warning him. He tried to explain the creatures. No, he didn't. Of course, McCready's trying to cover his butt now. He's just been telling everybody not to go back there because there's old equipment. Dude, just tell them that there's something back there that's gonna kill them. Or explain from the beginning that there's weird creatures back there. Come on. People are dying, McCready.
It was late. There was hardly anyone around.
Anyway, he goes on to explain how the creatures came about. Apparently, they landed in some disc thing, and he just knew instantly that they were called hobgoblins for some reason.
Small creature, a sort of hobgoblin.
They kind of just stared at each other and came to a mutual understanding that they liked each other, I guess. McCready didn't even question why these freaking aliens landed on Earth.
But I still don't understand.
I let the creatures live on the lot. It was my secret, and I learned of the power they had. They would find a person, tap into his brain, and then create his wildest fantasy. The creatures wound up destroying everyone they came in contact with.
Until there was nobody left. And that's when McCready realized he fudged up. So does he take responsibility for himself and help go wrangle up these hobgoblins? No, not at all.
And what can we do?
I'm too old to catch up with them now, but you might still have a chance.
He has Kevin do the dirty work. As if Kevin didn't already have enough to deal with Amy. Oh, Kevin, I feel sorry for you.
There aren't very many of them, but they move quickly.
McCready says that these hobgoblins are attracted to light and that he should watch out for people who are consumed by their fantasies to look nearby because there has to be a hobgoblin close. As long as he kills the hobgoblin as it has them in their fantasy days, then they'll be fine.
You must destroy them all before dawn, because once it's daylight, it's too late.
Okay.
You'll never be able to stop them.
Kevin runs off to try and wrangle up or kill the hobgoblins before it's daylight because McCready says at that point it's too late, of course. All of the friends are having a house party, and I guess they're the only ones in town that have bright lights nearby. The hobgoblins go straight there. What are the odds of that? The little hobgoblins start scheming, and they trick Daphne outside by playing a horn that sounds like her boyfriend's van. Oh, these little guys have so many tricks up their sleeve, don't they?
That's weird. Maybe circling the block or something.
No, Daphne, you know what's weird? That effing dancing going on in the background. Go back inside and put a stop to this, please. You're just getting tricked out here anyway. Amy just comes outside to try and be supportive with Daphne and give her a coat while she's waiting for Nick. She's just a little pissy. Luckily, she has another friend by her side. Look at that fighting, though. Wow. I mean, is she holding on to that thing? I can't even tell. Damn, the production on this. Impeccable. Jesus Christ, Daphne, calm down. I guess she killed the hobgoblin?
Honestly, couldn't Nick wait?
Okay, I don't know what these hobgoblins are doing, but they are going hard with whatever it is they are doing.
It's like a new dance. Pretty kinky.
So Nick shows up to the party and they're all scared for their lives. Luckily, Kevin shows up and just turns off the lights. The hobgoblins rush outside and take over the van instead. Kevin starts to ask if they feel any bit different.
What they do to your body is nothing compared to what they do to your mind. And you don't feel anything different, do you? And none of you have a desire to do anything you've never done before, right?
I think there's anything left that we haven't done before.
They all seem fine, but of course, somebody else wants to make a call.
Could I use your telephone again? I want to call my girlfriend.
What kind of relationship do the two of you have?
I guess you'd say it's a fantasy relationship.
Guys, Kyle is one kinky mother trucker.
Now hurry before the zookeeper comes. Help me hide this iguana on my body.
Can I help you, miss?
Oh, yes, Mr. Beastmaster.
I think you better come back to my office with me.
Now, wait a minute. Are you sure your office is in the baboon pit?
Is this what happens on those sex calls? Oh, if only it was real for Kyle. That's so sad.
Now stop wasting your money calling me. I'm right outside your door.
Kyle, don't fall for it. Kevin told you this. If it seems like a fantasy, don't follow through with it, Kyle. You're smarter than this. So nobody else pulls their slack. Kevin's literally the only one.
Where's Kyle? Didn't you guys see where he went?
No.
Kyle is seduced by this hobgoblin.
Do you kiss on the first date?
I go all the way on the first date.
My kind of woman.
We'll go to Reputation Road.
I'll drive.
Kevin heads on out, but not before telling everybody not to fantasize about anything. To just keep an eye out for these gosh darn hobgoblins that they all saw and stay vigilant. Come on.
I've got to go across town and get Kyle. I want the rest of you to stay here. Don't make a move or do anything. And above all, don't fantasize about anything.
Kevin heads off to chase Kyle up Reputation Road, knowing that he's being seduced. And this is also a weird scene because Amy looks at this newspaper for Club Scum. She's a bit uptight about her sexuality, so it's a little bit weird that she's looking at this newspaper article. So just keep this in your pocket for later. We cut to Kyle and his lover who are still driving, but Kyle decides to jump a little forward.
Oh, Fantasia, you're my ideal woman, and I just know my mom's gonna love meeting you. Will you marry me?
Okay, whatever that stuff that he said, check this out. They're driving right now, but what is that? What is this? Let me zoom in for you. It's a hand. Come on, production company. Why are you gonna leave the hand in there? Reshoot. Oh, I forgot there was no production company. It's literally Rick Sloan. He's the one that did all of this.
Baby, I could watch you all night long.
If you don't go any faster, we could be driving all night long.
It's funny that this is supposed to be Kyle's fantasy, but she's so rude to him. Luckily, they're able to find a shortcut to speed through all of this.
Now hurry. I know a shortcut.
Yeah, with some shortcut you knew about. I never knew there was a road through the children's playground.
There isn't.
Oh, yes, the children. I mean, I have to give it to them. That's a pretty good joke.
Just hold tight and get ready for the ride of your life.
She gets out and starts shoving his car towards the edge. He starts rolling forward and does absolutely nothing. He just lets it happen. Luckily, Kevin shows up and tries to fight her off, but instead he smacks the excrement out of the hobgoblin. Completely oblivious to anything that happened, Kyle does get out of the car and confront Kevin, but he's still like in the daze and wants him to meet his new girlfriend.
I want you to meet my girlfriend. Wait till you see her. Fantasia? Honey?
Kyle, there's no girl. She was a figment of your imagination.
Kyle, when are you gonna understand? At least he's safe and can get back in his car and drive off.
That bleach blonde witch almost killed you. Hey, come on.
At this point, Kevin needs to just tell Kyle to walk home. There's no way that he deserves a ride back after that. Kevin clearly told him that he shouldn't be following these fantasies, and he just does it anyway. Go back through the playground and find your own way back. Literally everybody in this movie except for Kevin is terrible. They get back to the house and literally nobody is there except for a hobgoblin. The hobgoblin attacks them and Kyle can't even hit it. He just smacks Kevin multiple times. Kevin, get yourself some new friends.
Idiot.
So it turns out that Amy decided she wanted to go to Club Scum for some reason. All of the friends meet there and they give their wallets to a dedicated person. Who is that dedicated person, you ask? Trustworthy Kyle. And those wallets really don't last that long. Kyle, save everybody the trouble and just get stabbed.
Whoa.
They talk with this bouncer named Road Rash, who apparently knows Daphne pretty well. I guess everybody in this establishment knows Daphne. She's apparently a frequent visitor here.
Hey, Daphne. Hi, Daph.
The donkey mud wrestlers are supposed to use the rear entrance.
All right, they're in Club Scum. That's fine. They're looking for
Amy.
Cool.
Amy's
nowhere to be found, so they just decide to lay low at the table. She's not on stage because there's another band. Maybe there'll be some clues once this band is finished with their song. Good thing this is a movie though, so we should find out really soon. And not. This scene goes through the entire song. Where are the hobgoblins? This movie is literally supposed to be about hobgoblins. There's been like none in this entire movie. We just get this bull.
Phooey.
Well, after that performance, they announce a new headliner. I wonder who that could be.
Sit down and shut up.
Okay, so Amy has a really long performance too. When she's done, her and Road Rash, I guess, start to hook up. Why does she hook up with Road Rash? Is she under the influence of hobgoblins? Is that why she was up on stage? Is there a hobgoblin around? Okay, so it turns out, I guess, Amy was under the influence of the hobgoblin. Was she under the influence of the hobgoblin at the house when she first saw the newspaper article for Club Scum? I have no idea. Also, the hobgoblin goes after these two and makes their wildest fantasies come true, which is making out with each other. But then when the hobgoblin's knocked out, the lady starts attacking the man because she didn't know what the hell he was doing. But this is weird because she was also kissing him, so wouldn't that signify that her kissing him was her fantasy? The continuity doesn't really make sense in this movie.
Oh, Road Rash, do it to me.
Road Rash and Amy are really, really starting to go at it. Which, come on, poor Kevin. Like, even in Amy's fantasies, it's not Kevin that she's loving. It's some guy at Club Scum named Road Rash. Kevin, even in Amy's fantasies, you aren't her lover. Move on.
What are you doing here?
Howdy, Private.
At some point during all of this, Nick's sergeant shows up, and Nick turns into a commando, just throwing grenades everywhere and killing people. I guess this is his fantasy? At this point, like, I don't know.
You still fake your orgasms for me?
Fake this!
Amy eventually comes to and realizes that she was kind of
Biffing.
up. I don't know, it's weird. You think if it was her fantasy, she would appreciate it. Like Dennis at the beginning of the movie, he lived like a rock star for a brief moment and then died. But then it selectively chooses people to live out their fantasies. The sergeant goes up to Daphne and tries, I guess, to be with her. But Nick is in the way, so the sergeant just lobs a grenade over to Nick. And Nick jumps on the grenade and dies. I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. This whole thing.
My dream can come true right now.
These things look terrible. They look like stiff puppets that were just yanked into weird positions. Ah, the shame. I would love to have one of those puppets, though.
The show is over. Why don't you just climb back under your rock?
Daphne, I could have done that.
Oh, sorry.
So they decide to just get the hell out of Club Scum. Daphne starts warming up to Kyle, I guess, because her boyfriend just died like 3 minutes before, and she's already moved on. All right, how many hobgoblins are there? How many have they killed? How many have they beaten? How many are supposed to be there originally? I thought there were 4 originally. If there were 4 originally and 2 definitely died in that explosion that we saw, where did these other 4 come from? I don't understand. Explain to me.
Mr. McCready?
Hey there. We have a score to settle.
Amy, this time I'm gonna make you proud.
For your sake, Kevin, I seriously hope so.
Sometimes you lose.
I had real issues with this scene. McCready finally does something and he shoots the Hobgoblin, which that made this whole thing Kevin's dream. So Kevin's fantasy was to be stuck up by a thief in front of Amy so he can be the tough guy. But at the end, he ends up getting the crud beat out of him and literally cowers as a gun is about to shoot him. So his fantasy was just to get in a fight in front of Amy. He didn't even have to win it. But Jesus Christ, I am just happy for Kevin because this worked for Amy.
Don't take too long. I'll be waiting.
Stupid. Although maybe it's actually wholesome because she finally accepted Kevin for who he was. That he's not necessarily a tough guy, but he's always there to stick up for her when he can. Even if he doesn't win all of the time. I kind of like it. So his fantasy was just to have Amy accept him for who he was. Oh, my heart! Whoa!
Let's go! Oh, come. I was right about them. They're back inside.
Kevin and McCready go on in search for the Hobgoblins. The Hobgoblins apparently made it back into the vault. They had a calling, I guess, in the middle of the night that had them return to it. But I guess McCready redeems himself slightly.
Kevin, did I ever tell you what I did in the war?
No?
Munitions.
Yeah. He blows up the film studio. At this point, everything's working out really well. Amy says that she'll finally frick Kevin, and Kyle found a girlfriend. He gives her some really nice flowers, and they seem to be hitting it off.
No one's ever given me flowers before.
Oh, but there's lots of things I could show you for the first time. Nick.
Nick!
Yeah, baby!
Huh, Nick's alive. Okay, well, cool.
Daphne?
Nicky?
Van!
Excuse me, sir. Could I use your phone?
I actually enjoyed the absurdity of the other movies, but this one, I couldn't. I tried. I really tried, and I did not like it. Well, I fucking hate that movie.
Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the. Yeah,